Precisely 6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Sharifa Tahir. Headlines. The highest daily count of 3,561 corona cases in the country reported yesterday. Another 36 deaths increased the death toll to 1,051. The 12th National War Heroes Day commemorated under the patronage of the President. The Prime Minister says Port City Commission Bill will be amended according to the Supreme Court directives. Accepting applications for university admissions for 2020-2021 academic year will commence tomorrow. 1.4 million doses of AstraZeneca and Sinopharm vaccines will be brought to the island soon. News overseas. Biden tells Israel that he wants path to ceasefire. Local news in detail. Sri Lanka yesterday recorded the country's highest single-day total since the pandemic began, with 3,623 people testing positive for the virus, according to the official data reported by the Epidemiology Unit of the Health Ministry. Among the positive cases identified yesterday are 3,591 persons from the New Year COVID-19 cluster and 32 foreign arrivals. Sri Lanka has reported a total of 151,343 coronavirus cases so far, and 27,929 of them are currently receiving medical care at selected hospitals and intermediate treatment centres. Meanwhile, a total of 122,367 have recovered from the virus. The Director General of Health Services confirmed that Sri Lanka has reported 36 more deaths related to COVID-19 pandemic yesterday, increasing the total deaths to 1,051. Total of 1,397,999 people have received the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine, and 300,121 have received the second dose so far. The war heroes of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Police and Civil Security Department who sacrificed their lives for the country's sovereignty, territorial integrity and independence were commemorated with floral tributes yesterday on the 12th National War Heroes Day near Battaramulla National War Heroes Monument. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, dignitaries and war veterans attended the ceremony. Relatives of all fallen heroes joined the commemorative event. This year's 12th National War Heroes Day commemoration ceremony, organized by the Ranaviru Seva Authority adhering to strict health guidelines, began at 4:30 p.m. with the arrival of the President. 23,962 Army, 1,160 Navy, 443 Air Force, 2,598 police officers and 456 Civil Security Department personnel, a total of 28,619 war heroes who made the supreme sacrifice in the fight against LTTE terrorism before May 2009, were respectfully remembered by all peace-loving ethnicity in Sri Lanka for their gallantry, invaluable and selfless dedication during this national ceremony. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that our arrangements are being made to allocate 75% of the jobs at the Colombo Port City to Sri Lankans. Expressing his views in Parliament yesterday at the debate of the Port City Bill, the Prime Minister said the regulations in this regard will be introduced soon. The Prime Minister said that the Commission will be allowed to relax conditions only when there are no Sri Lankans with special skills. He said the majority members of the Colombo Port City Economic Commission and the chairman should be Sri Lankans. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa further said he appreciates the views of the people and respects the Supreme Court decision on the Colombo Port Commission Bill, and hopes to add all the instructions and directives given by the Supreme Court at the second reading of the bill. The Premier added that he hopes to add more amendments to the bill, listening to the views of the people and the views of the fraternal parties. Prime Minister Rajapaksa said the massive port city project commenced in 2014 has been able to add 269 hectares of land to Sri Lanka today. The new land added to the Colombo district by the previous government in 2019 August and now known as the port city of Colombo has given a valuable opportunity to add enormous prospects to the Sri Lankan economy. The debate commences for the second day in Parliament today. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation giving you the news.
Now, EPF information and services through an SMS from HDFC Bank.
Continuing with more stories here at home. The University Grants Commission says that accepting of applications to admit students to universities for 2020-2021 academic year will commence from tomorrow. Applications of students who sat for the GCE Advanced Level Examination last year should be sent online to University Grants Commission. Applications will be accepted until the 11th of June. The Foreign Ministry says the repatriation of Sri Lankan migrant workers kept in detention centres in Riyadh and Jeddah has been completed, with the last batch of detainees returning to the country yesterday. The last batch of 103 detainees returned to Sri Lanka on a Saudi Airlines flight SV786. This is the last leg of the repatriation process initiated by the Embassy of Sri Lanka in April 2021. With this latest cluster, a total of 180 individuals, 49 females and 131 males, have been brought back to Sri Lanka. Since July 2020, 334 Sri Lankan deportees have returned to Sri Lanka from Saudi Arabia. Arrival terminals of Katunayaka and Mattala International Airports will be closed from tomorrow midnight to 31st Monday midnight. However, the Civil Airline Services Authority said that services will be provided as planned for the airline passengers who are leaving the country. The authority further said that all services will be maintained for airlines that transport goods during this time. That's on local news.
දැන් HDFC බැංකුවෙන් EPF ණයතොරතුරු හා සේවාවන් SMS එකකින්
රාජ්‍ය හා පෞද්ගලිකංශයේ රැකියාවේ නියුතු ඔබ කොහේ සිටියත් EPF ණයතොරතුරු හා සේවාවන් ලබා ගැනීම සඳහා කළ යුත්තේ EPF හිස්තැනක් නම හා ප්‍රදේශය සඳහන් කර 071 800 999ට SMS එකක් එවීම පමණයි.
HDFC බැංකුව ඔබ අප සුරකින්න බැංකුව.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya.
State Minister of Production, Supply and Regulation of Pharmaceuticals, Professor Channa Jayasumana, says that Sri Lanka is to receive another stock of the China-manufactured COVID-19 vaccine Sinopharm. Accordingly, 500,000 vaccine doses will arrive as a donation from the People's Republic of China. The Embassy of China in Sri Lanka has confirmed that the stock of vaccines will be delivered within this month. Meanwhile, Minister Prasanna Ranatunga says that Sri Lanka will get 900,000 AstraZeneca Covishield vaccine doses by June. The minister said that the discussions to obtain the vaccine doses were successful. At present, 1.4 million have been given the first dose and 300,121 have been given the second dose of the vaccine.
The main news news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And on Watchlight, health authorities request the public, especially over 55 years, to immediately consult a doctor or report to a hospital if anyone develops COVID-like symptoms such as difficulty in breathing. That came to you on Watchlight. Moving on to World News Headlines. US President tells Israel that he wants path to ceasefire. 26 dead after barge sinks due to cyclone Tauktae. China on Mars, Itsurong Rover returns first pictures. World news in detail. US President Joe Biden has told Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu he expects a significant de-escalation in the Gaza conflict yesterday. Mr. Biden wanted a path to ceasefire, the White House said. The US is a staunch ally of Israel and has so far opposed a joint UN Security Council statement on the conflict. Earlier, Mr. Netanyahu said the Israeli military was taking care of objectives, adding, "We're not standing with a stopwatch." 26 bodies have been recovered off the coast of India's Mumbai city, where a barge with 261 people on board sank on Monday during a severe cyclone. The death toll is expected to rise as rescue operations continue. At least 53 people are still missing. A Navy warship returned to the city's harbour on Wednesday with some of the 186 survivors rescued so far. 35 people have also been rescued from another of the 3 other barges stranded due to Cyclone Tauktae. Finally, on world news, China has released the first pictures taken by Itsurong Rover on Mars. The forward view shows the landscape ahead of the robot as it sits on its landing platform. The rear-looking image reveals Itsurong's solar panels. The rover touched down on the red planet early on Sunday, Beijing time. In doing so, it made China only the second nation after America to successfully put a probe on the surface of Mars and operate it for a significant length of time. That's on world news. Moving on to development news. The Valikada prison in 42 acres is to be re-established in a part of the Millavavata land in 200 acres in Horana. Considering even the future requirements, it has planned to construct a new prison in the land while transferring the land where the Valikada prison is at present to the Urban Development Authority so that the land can be provided on long-term lease to local and foreign investors formally selected for implementing development projects. That's on development news.
Sports news is brought to you by...
When Aya bought a motorbike, he bought 2 helmets. So sweet of him. I'm sure the other one is for me.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan neve.
Bangladesh Cricket Board's chief physician, Dr. Debashish, informed that all members of the Bangladesh and Sri Lanka team have tested negative and will have to pass a second test before being allowed in the biosecured bubble in the team's hotel. Bangladesh and Sri Lanka cricketers and team management have all tested negative for COVID-19 in their first test ahead of entering the biobubble security for the home one-day international series against Sri Lanka. The second round of tests will be held today. Only those who are negative in both the tests will be allowed to enter the biobubble in the hotel. Meanwhile, the 2 teams will undergo a third test a day ahead of the first ODI of the series. The 3-match ODI series between Sri Lanka and host Bangladesh is scheduled to begin on Sunday.
My wife always sets a full lunch table even if it's just the two of us. She always expects people to drop by, like maybe the army.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan neveyi.
Contributory deposit of ₹1,000 from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Savings account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The Ministry of Agriculture announced all economic centres across the country will remain closed when island-wide travel restrictions come into effect later this week. Accordingly, operations at economic centres will be halted from May 21st to the 24th. However, all economic centres as well as the Manning Market in Palayagoda will remain open from 4 a.m. to 11 p.m. on the 25th of May.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of ₹1,000 from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Savings account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news. Courtesy of
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
And on economic news, Sri Lanka's imports surged $1.96 billion in March 2021 from $1.52 billion in February as exports and domestic credit picked up despite mercantilist import controls, official data show. Despite the continuation of the import restriction measures, expenditure on merchandise imports increased significantly in March 2021 to $1.9 which is $1.9 million, which was the highest monthly import value since March 2018, the central bank said.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
Another weather update. The Meteorology Department says several spells of showers will occur in western, Sabaragamu's central and northwestern provinces and in Gola and Mathura districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in eastern and Uva provinces and in Hambantota and Mullaitivu districts during the evening or night. Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
Back to the headlines. The highest daily count of 3,561 corona cases in the country reported yesterday. Another 36 deaths increased the death toll to 1,051. The 12th National War Heroes Day was commemorated under the patronage of the President. The Prime Minister says Port City Commission Bill will be amended according to the Supreme Court directives. Accepting applications for university admissions for 2020-2021 academic year will commence tomorrow. 1.4 million doses of AstraZeneca and Sinopharm vaccines will be brought to the island soon. In foreign news, Biden tells Israel that he wants paths to ceasefire. With that, we conclude the morning bulletin of news.